Hi YouTube friends, I'm Heidi Villegas with Healing Harvest Homestead, and today we're going to go ahead and make an herbal tea that is really helpful for soothing a sore throat and getting rid of it fast. Also helping you just get better and feel better quickly. So the first thing we're going to add here is sage leaf. Sage is one of my very favorite herbs to use for sore throats. It is extremely drying and it tightens and tones the inflamed tissues. So when you're dealing with a sore throat, you've probably noticed it's all red, it's puffy, it's inflamed, it hurts. Well, sage immediately tightens things up and tones and just helps you feel wonderful. Really soothes and coats your throat. It doesn't really coat your throat, but it soothes your throat. So I'm gonna go ahead and use I'll use 2 scoops of sage in this tea. I really like it kind of heavy on the sage, to be honest. All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and use some licorice root. Licorice root is a wonderful soothing plant. It has a sweet flavor. Most people like it in combinations with other herbs because it enhances the flavor. But if you're not a licorice fan, there are other herbs you can use, and I will talk about that right now. One of them, as a matter of fact, do I have it here, is slippery elm. Really helpful for soothing and coating your throat if it's sore. And that's also because it's high in mucilage, just like the licorice root is. I just want to mention a contraindication for licorice root. If you suffer from hypertension, you really need to be careful using this plant because it can really stimulate your heart and possibly raise your blood pressure. So just be careful with it. I suggest talking with your doctor, of course, if you feel like you want to use it. But again, you can always substitute it with something that's a little safer, like slippery elm bark, or even marshmallow root is another favorite of mine to use as well. All right, next up, cinnamon. I love cinnamon chips in herbal teas where a sore throat's going on, much for the same reasons that the licorice root is helpful, and that's because it does contain mucilage and it does help coat your throat. Another thing it does is it adds to the flavor and it really blends well with the sage. Okay, so I like cinnamon for that reason in this. Next up is ginger root. This is cut and sifted ginger root, and I'm going to use 1 part of this. And I really love using ginger root to activate and stimulate the actions of the other herbs. So sage is in this tea because it tightens and tones and really just works to reduce the inflammation, and it also has antimicrobial benefits. It's super helpful for a sore throat. The licorice root also is helpful, especially for being an antiviral. Licorice root's a wonderful antiviral herb. So if you are starting to get a sore throat, this is a nice one to use as long as you can use it. And then the cinnamon, I already mentioned that it's here because it's a nice sweet tasting herb and it's mucilaginous, and the ginger is an activator. So these are the reasons why I've got these herbs in this particular blend, and here's what it looks like before it's blended up. And I want to just have a nice little mention really quick about honey. Honey, if you want to use honey in an herbal tea like this that supports getting rid of a sore throat really fast, it kind of gives you a 1-2 punch because the honey will coat and soothe your throat. It also has antimicrobial benefits and can help you get better faster. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend these herbs up really well. Okay. The sage is really fluffy, and this is what it looks like. It's not the prettiest herbal tea blend, but that's okay because we're making this for therapeutic use and not for pleasure. And there's a big difference. Okay, so to use this herbal tea, what I like to do is simply steep it for about 20 minutes in just boiled water. So for a cup, I'll use about 2 teaspoons of the herbal blend in the boiled water, and I steep for about 20 minutes. You can steep longer than that if you want a stronger tea. To store your tea, and I didn't make very much here. Again, this is something I'm going to take because I have the licorice root on hand, and I'm going to just take it a little bit. So I don't want a whole bunch of it. But you would pour it into a jar, and obviously this jar is really big. And I like to use a little canning funnel. It helps me not make a mess. But really, I'm going to go get an 8-ounce jelly jar and pour this amount in there. It's going to fit perfectly. One thing you need to know about storing your herbal teas is that if you've got a lot of headspace like this, with a lot of oxygen, it's going to oxidize your tea faster and make it lose its quality. So it's good if you're storing your herbal teas to store them in a jar that has a not very much headspace. And another thing to do is to keep your jars of herbal teas and herbs in a cool, dark place. That's the best thing to do, just to keep them as long as you can. All right, that's it for this sore throat tea. I hope you enjoy it, and let me know if you give it a shot. If you're interested in signing up for Ditch the Drugstore, my next round of my course for how to build your own personalized home apothecary, get on the wait list below. It's a really amazing course. I've had about 200 people go through it already, and the pictures of their home apothecaries are incredible. What makes this course special is that it is personalized for you. So I hold your hand for the 6 weeks. This is not a course where I just turn you loose with 12 or 15 herbal remedies and say bye. No, I'm right there with you. I'm helping you build your home apothecary. I'm helping you make decisions about what you need for your specific family, whether you've got children or whether you've got elders or whether you've got people with certain health needs. I just help you build it out so that it's safe and effective and it's workable for your family. So it's not a generic course. So anyway, get on the wait list. I hope you will. And I do have a free herbal remedy guide for you too. And again, please subscribe. I'm Heidi Villegas with Healing Harvest Homestead, and I will talk with you later.